Freedom of speech. Welcome to the show. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. It's 11:52 in the PM, just before midnight here on Encounters. Good to have you with us, Vicky, Phyllis, 666, Vicky Painter, Paul 345, Cal Susie Q, Anthony Warren, all the people coming in here. This is Encounters. Please start tapping on the screen. We're at 0 likes. We just started broadcasting, but let's get the lights going right now. Tap, tap, tap. That means tap the screen. That starts the likes happening. If you don't know how to do it, you tap the screen. Okay, Lily, good to see you. Everybody coming in. Good to have you with Marinee. Marinee, one of our moderators. Nancy, Kristen, TX, Texas. All the people coming in here. Anna, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Everyone, let's get going. We could rapidly talk so quickly here, but we're not going to do that. Redneck Fly Hunter, welcome to the show. This is the most talked about late night UFO talk show anywhere on the social media, including the national, international cable channels. This is the show. It's not on History Channel. It's not on Disney. It's not anywhere else. It's right here on TikTok. This is CmdrAleon. I'm your host. I've been on for 20 years doing a show called the Cosmic Eye Ashtar Command Radio Show on WESU-FM NPR Pacifica Radio. 20 years of radio. I've been on radio a lot longer than that, but 20 years of focus on the Ashtar Command and Cosmic Eye Radio, dedicated to our brothers and sisters up off the planet. Good to have you with us, everybody. Deborah, hello. Commander, I have completely stopped getting the notifications from you. Anything I can do? Let me just make sure that you're... Well, we're going to follow you back. That might help. I don't know if that's going to make the difference. So we are following you, Deborah. And hopefully you'll get notifications. So people usually get them. So I'm following you. That might make a difference. Jay Bear, welcome to the show. Everybody coming in here. Let's amp it up. Please share 10 or 15 people. I know you can share up to 10 or 15 people easily on your list of brothers and sisters around the world who are interested. Big Storm Grill, good to see you. Hello, everyone. I'm not getting any notifications now. I was scrolling through and found you. Yeah, I'm surprised, man. This is kind of weird. And we're friends, so you should get notifications. I'm not sure. TikTok is playing weird games, so... Backyard PKE, welcome. Jessica Lynn, thank you for the likes. Cy Esther, Jessica Lynn, thank you again for the likes. All the people coming in here, I'm looking at all the names. I haven't gotten any all week. Interesting. I know that I get notifications when people are live, so sometimes I don't get them. So I'm not sure what's going on with TikTok. Very interesting. Well, anyway, welcome to the show. We'll have to tell the command to play around with the algorithm here. Paul 345, Commander, any new sightings? I just posted a video on Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Tonight we're going to have a video that we're going to show you. It's about 10 seconds long, but it is actually a phenomenal capture in Maryland of a flying saucer-shaped ship, according to the witness. And this thing was like brighting up the sky when it was moving. They got 10 seconds of it, and it's very impressive. So we're going to show you that later on the show. Kathleen 9651, I got an invite too. So some people are getting them, other people aren't. So I would just let TikTok know that you're not getting invites. Let them know that to make sure that their algorithm is inviting you. Ambrose 818, welcome to the show. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show, only here on TikTok. And we're going to have some exciting interviews, I'm sure, tonight. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interesting people out there that will be coming in here. As they know, if they don't get any notifications, I don't know what's happening. Don't know what's happening out there. But we definitely want to make sure people are getting invites. And we're going to go, normally once in a while I use my list here to invite people. So maybe I have to, and usually I don't have to do that, but it looks like I might have to get into that a little bit. So I'm going all the way to the ends of my list here. and seeing what the heck's going on here. So welcome to the show. We have a lot of interesting people. So we're going to start at the X's on my thing and go down to W. And who knows who will be here. So we're going to invite some people. I try to invite 15 at a time. And I'm sure if some of you are already here, that's great. But we're going to just send people a message. I'm just going to say is live. And of course, we'll just do that. So I sent 15. I'm going to send another 15 messages. You're just getting into the show. Welcome. And we're going all the way to the top part of my list here. You know, I just, like I say, TikTok should be sending everybody notifications about encounters. I'm not sure what's going on. So TikTok, please fix that whole situation for people. Let's see here. Just going to invite people. We'll see what happens here. And I figure if I keep just inviting people, they will come. I don't now see that I ordered another 15. We're at 39. Let's get up to 100 and then we can really get into stuff. So I'm waiting until we get Drum. Good to have you with us. Enlightened Jess, welcome. Leo, welcome to user 949. Welcome to the show. If I don't acknowledge you, Shelly, welcome to the show. We're actually inviting people randomly in my list here. I'm not assuming anything here, so we're going to invite a few more people. We're happy you're here, Drum. We're happy to see everybody. Let's just do this here real quick. I'm just going up the list, scrolling. And we will be having some interesting interactions with people tonight. I don't know who we're going to have on here yet. That is something I do not know, but we will. And we're just going down the list. And we'll see who is going to show up on encounters. And we just invited another 15. So I just did 15. If everybody here, we have 64 people. So if everybody does 15 people, then invites 10 or 15 people or 5 people, that will be really good. Going past one day today, Stephen Borg. Dance Now, welcome to the show. Shelly Stardust Moon, welcome. Jarvis Robert, welcome. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show on a Friday night. We are amped up one day at a time. Good to see you. Everybody coming out here on a Friday night, staying indoors. If you're in New England, we're getting ready for a weekend of rain. Zanesville, Ohio, baby. Thanks for coming in here. Namaste, Shelly. Brought some crystals today. Great, Jake. Britches, welcome to the show. Lady Glitter Sparkles. Good to have you with us always. Joanne Janet, or Doris. All the people, I'm trying to catch the names really quick here. We're almost at 70. Let's go higher and higher. I believe in getting not only the vibrational frequencies higher when I do my show, I want to get the numbers higher. You see, I always have a goal here. I have a goal for the planet. I have a goal for the show. I have a goal for the planetary changes. I have a goal for inviting our space brothers here and making it feel a comfortable place for them to come when they get here. So there's a goal. We all should have a cosmic goal. It really makes a difference. Real talk. Welcome to the show. NAFX, welcome. I'm going to invite a few more people. We're going to go invite crazy. We have to get it up to 100. So we're going to do it. I don't know who's on here in my list, but we're going to just randomly select people and see what happens. So inviting 15 people at a time. I've also taken the YouTube show from this morning. I also was on this morning. I took our morning show during the day, and it's on my YouTube channel. The show from last night is on the YouTube channel. So if you missed last night's show, you can go on YouTube to my TikTok, Cosmic Eye, not Cosmic Eye, what am I saying here? Ashtar Command Spaceship News, and you'll find my encounter show there. All the shows are being put to YouTube and on Facebook. Hey, down the earth of the rabbit hole. So we're going to bring our UFO God. Good to see you, buddy. Trisha Hours, thanks for joining. I'm just inviting people, man. And we're going to get James up here. Hello there, UFO God. Hope you're doing well. Keeping the eyes to the skies as usual. Friends with Furries up in Vermont. Welcome to the show. Always, it was great talking to you. Russell Allen. Kat, it's just a great night to be here, man. User 539, James, the Orb Master. If he's in the house, welcome James, the Orb Master. He really is. Seeing lots of planes and helicopters and drones lately. Interesting. Garrick Gonzalez, good to be with you. And Down the Rabbit Hole is with the rabbits right now, but he'll be coming up shortly, my co-host. I hope Down the Rabbit Hole is feeling better. You know, we don't want the co-host to be feeling sick or whatever. We can't have that happen to him. Elaine, hey everyone. Hey Elaine, welcome to Dion, welcome to the show. Let's get it amped up here. We're at 75. And let's keep tapping. We're going to want to do 50,000 likes tonight. Cover Song Queen. That's a good name. Ricky Calvo, welcome to the show. Sammy, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I'm thanking thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. And if I keep going that way, I'm going to keep repeating it. I do have a sense of humor, folks. Gigi Girl, Tresla, welcome to our show. Good to have everybody coming here. All the new people, Caroline, welcome to our show. Florence Archer, thank you for coming in here. All the new people, we welcome you. If you're interested in the subject that we deal with, Flat Top 225, this is the most talked about, and we are a talk show. That's right, we're not a debate show. We're not running around in clown outfits with a disco light up in the ceiling with 2,000 people watching us do some crazy thing. We're doing a talk show. So we want people that are coming in here. We know you're being invited here. We know that on an inner spirit you're coming here because you also are interested in people's visitation stories. You're also having UFO sightings, and you're also interested in disclosure. Chris J says, I found some amazing cut green crystals, spearheads cut with lasers. Beautiful. You know, there's so many things out there, people. Thanks for coming in. Stay a while. I'm Shy. Thank you. Thank you. My dear friend, I'm Shy, is our beautiful friend of ours. She's like family to us, with James and us and all our viewers. She is the one person we count on for good information. Catherine, good evening. Anna, I think it's Anna, the Plum 64. Hello, good evening. So you're on the Friday night edition of Encounters. Hey, good to have everybody with us. We're going to invite some more people. Melinda Dugan, I think it is. Bootsy, that's a good name. We got Bootsy in the house here in the Cosmic Eye. Lee Harvey. Felicia Townsend, Healer. Thanks for the like. Outcast, thanks for joining. We just love having all the new people here. Hey, Melinda. Lars, welcome to the show, Lars. Lori, welcome to the show. It's nice to welcome people here. We're going to invite some more people. We're getting down there. He truly was in the inner earth. Now he's coming above ground. So we have to say hello to him. I'll speak
Ladies
English.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Friday night show of Encounters.
And I'm Shy. Thank you for the planet. We love that. Thank you, I'm Shy. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. I thank everybody who's gifting us. And we want to, just so you know, please do gift us during the show. That really is important to what I do here with James as my co-host. And then we have Grace coming in. She'll come in with a key area. something with a celebrity or somebody that comes out talking about their encounters or visitations. And so definitely Patri, Tom Notch, Art Woodford, I think it is Woodfull, Judd Ranch, thank you, Anna Ann, good to see you. And sure, certainly, if Amshai decides she wants to come up, she certainly is welcome to do so. And she's our main person in the DoD that is our whistleblower of information, and she is beautiful that way. We never put pressure on her. We tell her when she's able to bring something forth. It's something you will certainly not hear on any major media station or news channel. You're going to hear it here on Encounters. I mean, I am so amped up tonight, and I don't even have any apple cider, but I will this weekend have a big gallon of apple cider because a half a gallon just won't do it. It just won't. But
He
that's
don't half a gallon here, guys. He's going full gallon.
full gallon. That's my cosmic drink that amps me up even more so, is that apple cider in New England.
When he
Really
found
good to see
out
you.
they went to gallons, he was so
Yeah.
excited.
Well, they have the gallons, but I keep buying half a gallons, but that goes too quick. But I'm drinking water here. And
So
went out tonight for dinner
today,
and
I was going to say, I
went
had
to
my lunch with Elon Musk today.
well, I went to a diner with Elon, an old style diner.
Oh, I thought I saw you there.
It was the Olympus Diner, and he came in with a one of those funny looking vehicles that he has, and he had a cheap sandwich. I had a hot turkey sandwich with flying saucer bread. It was really good. It's a
Yeah,
sandwich
well,
that's
did he make
levitating.
you? Did he make you pick up the bill?
No, the spaceship that he had, the little flying saucer, was like just took the bill and it just disappeared. Got abducted. I don't know. What do I know? I don't.
That's so
I know
funny.
nothing. But anyway, all kidding aside, you're watching Encounters. James and I definitely have a sense of humor about life. But we are serious about the show. We're just, as we're getting started here, we're just kind of loosening up a bit. And we want to thank you all for coming in here. We'll be on here till about 1:30 tonight. And we certainly, one of the things I want for new people to know that I've done a talk show on the subject called Ashtar Command Radio, and I still do it for over 20 years. And it's also known as the Cosmic Eye. We dedicated to busting the matrix here on the show. So on this UFO show, we want people to share their stories, come out of the closet. One of the focuses of the show. So the protocol of this TV show is if you have over 200 followers, finally TikTok will let you go live on a show. All you have to have is 200 followers plus, and I can put you on here on audio, not on actual live screen. You'll be able to do that at 1,000 or close to 1,000. So if anyone says, "Well, I only have 200, followers," you can come on live. It's probably only started a few months ago with TikTok doing this, and so that's a beautiful thing. Please tap, tap, tap. We have 6,000 likes. We can do 50,000 likes tonight. I know it by 1:30 or before 1:30. Please also, as you watch the show and you like the show, please gift us. You can go to my CmdrAleon 2022 main profile page. I have a Venmo link there. If you have a Venmo app and you can do Venmo, do donations on Venmo. You can do 5, 10, or 15. That would be great. If you subscribe to our thing, a lot of people lost their subscriptions. So when you have the money, those that lost your subscriptions, resubscribe. That money is going towards night vision equipment. So if we can get up to 100 subscribers to the show, we will be getting another set of modern night vision equipment, third generation goggles for our Ashtar Command, contact group here in New England. Amshai is in the house. She will be in the house. And we're going to open the doors to the spaceship. We've just landed to pick up Amshai. Amshai, welcome to our ship. You're now on board. Welcome. Good evening.
Good
Thank you,
evening,
Trisha.
Commander, and down the rabbit hole.
Hey,
Good evening.
friend, how are you?
Oh wow, you just got a really cool gift.
Oh,
That
what did you
was
get?
pretty cool.
Well, so I got my clearance was confirmed today by the National Security Office, And
Everyone,
Yay!
yeah, and
congratulations.
I got invited into a pretty cool program. I'm moving a little bit higher up. Uh, it involves some deep space satellites, and also that Jupiter mission I told you about. I got the calculations
Yeah.
wrong. Here, let me pull them up. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget it. So,
Why am I
you ready
glowing?
for this? You ready
Go
for
ahead.
this? Okay. So the actual distance traveled is 765,365,451 miles exactly towards Jupiter. The manned
Wow.
part of the mission was that 700,000, or like the where it's not autopilot. The manned part
Yeah.
of that mission was the actual 700,000 number I'd had. So yeah,
Wow.
so that's
And
how far.
Cool.
that person did it in 25 minutes, right?
Yeah,
That's still like boggles, I think, some viewers' minds, but it's pretty amazing. I mean, to have this kind of information on our show. But then again, it's Shy. She's our friend, and she wants disclosures just as much as we do. So, and again, congratulations on going higher up.
thank you.
That's a
It was
beautiful.
a very interesting day. I got introduced to this program, and I got a couple job opportunities as well. I'm just kind of trying to figure out the route I want to go. I got
Yeah.
2 separate private contractors that I could work for, or I could stay in the NGA. Um, I don't know. I mean, if there's pros and cons. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be doing a lot
You
more
probably
research,
have
like
you
actual
probably
research.
have to figure that out. It's like you're getting all these offers. You have to know within yourself through meditating what you feel is what excites you, what's your core, what you want to do. I mean, this particular field, going in what you're doing with disclosure, what's going to be your best route for you in terms of the work environment, but also the disclosure that you're doing, which is going to be the best route to get more information when what you feel. So you'll have to figure that out, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was for a metamaterials team, so um, I guess I would assume that they would want me to differentiate in between certain metals that are relative to Earth and how to implement them together. I mean, that's my best.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I would specifically be like working on like the paint, like the multi-million-dollar paint that they're putting on like F-35s,
You mean
because
the
Huh.
paint that they stole from Japan?
oh yeah, the paint that they stole from Japan. Yeah, I mean, that stuff's there's a reason it's in a $1 million price tag.
Right.
And the metamaterials in it are pretty nice little stuff.
Wow. That's crazy.
In,
Well, I'm
in
pretty sure
Japan,
you'll.
they sell it at the corner store.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're going to figure that out. It's to have those kinds of opportunities. It's like being chosen to go from high school, and you're saying, "Am I getting in Stanford, Harvard, Yale, whatever university?" And now you've got to decide which one you want to go to. So it's almost like choosing your next university. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. I mean, I was in a pretty formal sit down with some higher members of that group I was talking about, and
Yeah.
I got read in on some things that are pretty interesting. I got a lot more,
Hmm.
yeah, I got a lot more information than I had before on like relative to like where some of these archaeological things have been found, our involvement,
Hmm.
who goes in to retrieve them, cargo systems to get to space. I got access to certain blueprints, certain black sites that we're operating at. It's pretty cool
Hmm.
stuff. This is probably the best day I've had in my career.
You
Um,
know what? And I'm sure as days come, I mean, as days and weeks go by, and you get settled in what you're dealing with now in your next level, I'm sure there'll be also things even more so related to UAPs. I would assume, but I don't know that. But I probably, with higher clearance, more things come your way. Correct?
oh yeah, I mean, I'm in the UAP task force now, which I was already involved, but I was only monitoring like certain deep space satellites. And I didn't have the full information on what these things were, how they operated. I only had the visual telemetry, but um, now I'm kind of getting information on where they're coming from,
Oh
how
wow!
they operate, the technology that goes behind our prototypes that are being worked up um, for the United States government. I even learned about some ace in the hole tech that we had today. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Did you say
What's
Hull
ace in the
Tech?
hole? What does that mean? Ace in the
Ace in the
hole?
ace in the hole. Okay, so
Yeah.
private contractors. So I had 3 different conversations today. One with people, and I won't name the group just because I'm personally and I don't want to ruin it already.
Right. No, take your time.
I'll say
Take
the
time.
UAP task force group. The
Mhm.
other with two individuals from one, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon. So I got
Mhm.
a formal job invitation to both of those places.
Wow.
And metamaterials, both. So pretty interesting stuff. And basically, what I had gotten is well, I learned a little bit more about. They gave me a tour of a facility that has
Oh wow.
sub levels. It has 16 sub levels. I only got to the fifth
Wow.
one. Yeah, and yeah. I mean, the further down you go, the weirder the people get. Funny enough.
So
Yeah.
wait,
That
so
is
you
that's
went
like
you
going
went
down the
five
rabbit
levels.
hole.
I was gonna say you went 5 levels down the rabbit hole, and there was still 11 more to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
there are.
Wow.
I saw some pretty cool stuff. I saw this huge platform, and it could store a B-2 stealth bomber. I saw the newest stealth bomber that they've been working on.
Really?
I saw some. I'll reserve some information, but it's this huge platform, and it basically comes up through the entire facility. You could fit 10 F-35s, a B-2 stealth bomber, huge, 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 huge.
Wow.
They have their own 2,000 square foot data room that stores all their files and stuff. I even
Wow.
talked to some of the people that would be in my department.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, it was amazing. I had the
Did you
greatest
get to
time.
meet Larry?
Well, the people in the new department that you met pretty cool folks. I mean, are you getting the vibe of those people that you just started with it? So as time in a week or two or three, will you be able to seek out those people that also want disclosure in that group?
Well, so these people are making okay. So for reference, these people are really invested in their jobs.
Yeah.
Um, and I get the feeling that they're not too comfortable with me yet. Rightfully so. I met the individuals, I shook their hands and everything, and we introduced each other.
Yeah.
And,
God
and the
God
person who was
bless you.
overseeing me, I'll say, what?
I was saying God bless you to James.
God
Sorry.
You
bless
just
you, bless you, bless you, bless you, James. But it was, oh my gosh, the facilities, mind-boggling.
yeah.
Both of them, and I even saw some certain blueprints on the wall and stuff of early 80s type technology they had been working on,
Wow.
particularly the implementation of mercury and electromagnetics and how it can lead to propulsion. And I didn't know how the systems would work before.
Hmm.
So those are how the propulsions are based. So it's not anti-gravitic type property. It's more like the effects of mercury and electromagnetic properties.
Wow.
So that's how these propulsion zero propulsion type flight systems are operating. Um,
Mm.
yeah, it's oh my gosh, it was an experience. I had a phenomenal time, and even today I got even in my own workplace. I mean, I had gotten some information about where they had found some stuff in different countries,
Wow.
where other people are in terms of R&D, what facilities that they're housed in other countries.
So like the facilities that other countries have with UAP technology.
Yeah,
So
Oh.
do a lot of countries have UAP leveled areas that they work with?
they were covered, and they are actively working on R&D, but they are so far behind us. It's not
Yeah.
even funny. They're still trying to figure out zero propulsion, and we've been able to go to out of orbit since the 80s. So, and
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah, and
Now
we have
So
is that because of the amount of money we pour into it, or just because we were ahead of the game?
both, and that's also because we've stolen stuff from other countries, like the Soviets. We stole a fair bit
yeah.
of technology and ideas from them. The Germans from World War II, we stole a lot from them. So even the Vatican had led us on the right track, but we had played our cards so right that we got these super compartmentalized group of contractors that won't do work for anybody else because they know that their
Right.
relationship with us is so vital that they will succeed
Yeah.
under us no matter what. And you know
Wow.
these Chinese and Russian facilities have the craft, but their mortality rate when operating the equipment, the effects of, I even got a actually watched a video
Hmm.
for dealing with the radioactivity element, like radioactivity.
Yeah.
And people die. They had 2 incidents this year. Or sorry, I probably shouldn't say that on TikTok.
Well, go ahead.
I
You
apologize.
might as well. No, don't. No, hey, the truth is the truth. People need to know it.
I mean,
Go
people,
ahead. You started.
have unfortunate timely ends, and and it's because it's like, so think of like the what's it called, the demon core or something. I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah.
it's called. Yeah, it's like that's the kind of principles they're working with. So if something slips and they get this huge amount of radiation, enough to like fry them inside and out.
Oh
um,
my God.
yeah, that's not like too uncommon, because these crafts, when you're near them upon activation, they have these adverse effects that aren't too kind. That's why there's, they're completely powered off, and they are not turned on until other systems are in place to protect the pilot. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Are these craft using radioactive technology?
Well, not necessarily. The radioactivity is a byproduct of certain effects
Okay.
that happen within the craft. So, like, say 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 somebody's in the craft, they're not
Yeah.
being affected by these adverse effects, right?
Okay.
They're almost in their own little pocket. Like, technically, and on a technicality, they're not moving. The people in the craft are technically not moving. It's
Yeah.
it's space and time bending around the craft. So when we're talking about you're going these distances, they're technically not going these distances, and this is like on a technicality. Um,
Right.
they're technically moving space around them. Um, so pretty cool
Hmm.
stuff.
Interesting. It is cool. Very cool. Many years ago, I read all these stories from the 60s from some of the out of print contact ebooks, and some people that were involved in the subject, like Daniel Fry, and people that were involved in wanting to get the ET technology, which was the lower vibrational ETs that have spaceships or saucer ships, and their ships, and even people that have had sightings. I've read stories and people will tell you in some of the books that where people had experiences that they felt like radiation. It was a very sick feeling of this radiation coming out of the UFO or the saucer craft. And then when they saw or encountered ships that were not with radiation, they just felt a different sense of feeling good, not sick. The lower vibrational ships that were able to go to Earth pretty quickly from wherever they came from were shooting off radiation as they got lower. People had radiation mark or burns. There have been documented stories from abductees that had those problems. And in some of the, documentaries on History Channel dealing with all this, they've had people discuss, show, oh, I got abducted and it was like radiation. So I think, what I guess I'm trying to figure out, I think I figured it out, is that, and I've stated to people, if you feel uncomfortable and something comes like a UAP towards you, and you feel like you're getting radiation burn marks or something, hypothetically, that's not good. And that's probably a lower vibrational advanced grouping of ETs, and because in correlation with what you're saying, I think that's technology, if it's causing that. Did they get that technology through retrieving some crashed UFOs or UAPs?
Yes, and very intense R&D. So like these material scientists or not even just them, these engineers, like, and physics experts, they're on a different level. Like, they're working with quantum physics at this point. Like, string
Mm,
theory isn't real. Like, I've already kind of discerned that. It was set up and paid for to keep people in physics at a certain point and stop. And that's why there hasn't been a single advancement. It's the hardest physics problem, and that's
yeah.
I mean, that's for a reason. I mean,
Mm,
um, as well as there's like multiple paid like public scientists that are involved in this. And
wow.
even like they found, like, I even got the site locations of some places. I don't know if you know where Mari is, but it's a
No, where is that?
Sumerian site. It's a Sumerian site. I even got the exact longitude and latitude that we had retrieved the object from, and we had gotten a pretty interesting recovery. I even got video and photo from the recovery operation. I even figured out who goes to retrieve them. I'm pretty sure I already told y'all that, but it's
Yeah.
it's people from the Air Force, and they're they're
Really.
called self.
Now, you say you have video of this. This is video for our viewers of a UAP that crashed. Am I correct or incorrect
Yeah,
about that?
I was obviously in a skiff though when I viewed it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but yeah, I figured out
Yeah.
the specific group of people that are going around, how they're transporting it. They even have
Hmm.
this thing called it's like a little box, and it's like
Hmm.
it's we actually had a blueprint of it. It's called a DEC. Wait, no, DAC, uh,
DAC.
and a
And
DNC.
what?
Do not concern.
Do not
DNC.
concern.
Yeah. So you'll see in the very beginning of getting this job, after you get TS, you'll get a list of things and photos of things you do not concern yourself with. So one of these things is a TR3B. Now the TR3B is a very popular craft. It's 100% real. It's one of the biggest or one of the utilized crafts that the government has bought from a defense contractor. It's called Project Black Manta or called Project Aurora Borealis. It depends what department
Yeah.
and where you are. So this is everybody's seen it. You've seen pictures.
Oh yeah.
It's called a
I've
TR3B.
seen
It's a triangle.
I've seen
It's got
videos too.
yeah, and it'll glow in the middle before it takes off.
Yeah.
And that utilizes that electromagnetic. I actually saw that. Funny enough, I actually saw a blueprint for it today, but it uses that electromagnetic and mercury technology we're talking about. So I don't know
Yeah.
what it is with those two things. Again, I'm not a physicist. I mean, I would be more in the
Me neither.
material. Maybe I'd be more in the material realm than anything. But yeah, and we're utilizing that, and that was on the do not concern list. So you'll see these photos, and if
Wow.
you see it in our orbital array or you notice it, you leave. You don't report. You don't talk about it. You don't concern
Yeah.
your supervisor with it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Why
Hey,
is that?
because it's ours, and they don't want anybody knowing about it.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So they're just like, don't mind this. This is ours.
It's
Yeah,
our stuff.
even
Well, I guess logically I can understand that if I were working in that realm. I guess. I'm interested in the fact that you were able to see video footage of a crashed UAP, and that is there a possibility my light bulb is lighting up? I'm shy. Is there any way in the future we can get a sneak out copy of that to put on
do you know
Ashtar
what it?
Command
Do you
Spaceship
okay? So
News?
let me preface. Do you know what a skiff is?
No,
Okay, so
Oh,
that's a
I do.
sensitive compartmented
he
information
does.
facility.
Yeah,
So usually they're going to be sublevels under a base, or they're going to be
yeah,
under the National Security Agency. Usually those are where those are located, but they'll be everywhere. They'll be on an Air Force base,
yeah,
a DIA agency facility, and so when you go into these, you're checked not one, not two, but three separate times. Through three scanners, and it's a sublevel, so you go through an underwater, to make sure there's nothing in your orifices, like of your body.
yeah,
People,
yeah.
they check to make sure you don't have guns. They take your wallet, your phone, your glasses,
Everything.
and they check the glasses, but you'll
Wow.
get them back. I am a glasses wearer, so thankfully I would have been blind.
Yeah,
Yeah, they even check
yeah.
my glasses, and so. And
Wow.
I'm at the need to know level now. So whatever I need to know about something I'm working on or operating on, which would be part of that program, I'm gonna get read in on. So I go in this facility, armed people everywhere. So even at the elevator. So I don't have my phone. I don't have
Wow.
a watch. I have nothing. Believe me, if I could get
You're
that
pretty,
video, I
you're
would.
pretty much
You have
wearing a
nothing. They
What happened?
take everything from you with armed military people. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude, I'll snatch it and run next time. I'll snatch a drive.
I want you to do that.
uh, you know, there is actually some people I know though that have photos that were separated from those facilities, and
Hmm.
those are people that work for those contractors. So I'm actually, funny enough, I actually referenced somebody I talked to a while ago on this show about and him working for Lockheed, and I would actually be working in an adjoining department. Again, he's an engineer.
Yeah,
He works on the building of this equipment.
yeah.
Uh, so I would be working with him. But the thing is with this job is I would be moving around a lot.
Oh, wow. You
Yeah,
can stay in the country peacefully where you are.
yeah. I
What do
mean,
you now? What do you mean moving around a lot? Like going from facility to facility?
yep, working on whatever they want me to work on. I wouldn't,
That's crazy.
yeah. So
You'd be
like,
living out of a suitcase.
so if they want me to go to the Middle East, well, I'm going to the Middle East, and there are multiple black
Yeah.
sites in the Middle East. So, um, that kind of escapes some sorts of oversight, even though they don't really have to worry about that in general. But it makes it a little bit easier, you know. So, and there's black sites all over our country. I mean, again, they're on federal land majority times in these places like landfills or, you know, in the middle of the forest, and it's
Yeah.
hidden, you know, or even in the side of a mountain. Um, you know, and they'll get these little small contractors to build a little bunker door that matches the mountain. And so that it's very inconspicuous. And there's at least 40 of those around the country. You know, that are built into
Wow.
the side of huge rocks or a mountain, and they go 10, 20 sublevels deep. And there's active R&D. I mean, you know, one of these crafts is, we actually have a craft. It's an implementation of the B2. The Air Force has one. It can go some crazy speeds. What is it? I couldn't tell you exactly, but I'll get back to you on it. I'll probably tell you next time I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we only
Okay.
have one, and it costed $800 billion. So
$800 billion. Holy
eight
crap.
hundred
That's a,
billion.
That's a whole lot of cheddar.
Yeah, and I even learned about some neurotoxins today that we had tested on certain populations outside of the country, and
really?
yeah, 1 microgram.
Wait,
Yeah, what were you saying?
wait. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. 1 microgram.
So 1 microgram could kill you in less than 15 minutes. And the
Oh my
issue with these
God.
neurotoxins, and this is a doomsday scenario that they would use this. The issue with this is that when they're on the ground, they can be kicked up, they can be dug up, they can be carried in the wind to a place like Europe, so they're very volatile. But we have them, and that was something I learned about today. It was really crazy.
So then these neurotoxins, this is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. These neurotoxins, so are you just saying, I'm shy, that we already are using these on certain population or populated areas?
We tested them on a population, but we deemed it too much of a safety hazard due to wind and the fact that it stays, in these
Yeah.
tiny particles, and that it takes 15 minutes almost to see complete shutdown.
Yeah.
That we deemed it a risk, and that we kind of stopped. But
I'm
we still
sorry.
have it.
Did that test happen in North Africa?
it I'm not going to comment on that.
Wow. I just got a. That was my cosmic message telling me that.
Yeah, you went with your inner messaging from your higher self there, James. That's why.
Wow.
You always go with your first instincts when you get information like that inside yourself. Usually your first instincts are usually correct.
I'm
And
not gonna lie. They're even showing me. They're even showing me which country, not Chad, it is.
it's it's always the underdeveloped places. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, that's what it is, because they wouldn't do it in New York City or San Francisco or London, because that's a big populated area, and certainly something's going to happen if they did that. It's just not something they would do. Although who knows? But they didn't do it because
Yeah.
they realized it was too dangerous.
Oh yeah, another thing that I figured out is on the ocean thing. This has been going on for way longer than I knew. It's been going on since the 20s. We've had structures in the ocean since the 20s. And get this, we've had microphones in every single ocean, and not the typical microphone that you're thinking, like a stage microphone,
Right.
but
Right.
microphones that are made for the ocean that can not only, and I got showed some clips today, they can hear inside of a nuclear submarine. So if you hear a person cough, you can hear that. And they're
Wow.
Wow.
everywhere. There's thousands of them, and so they showed me for reference a clip of a Russian nuclear submarine. It was a big deal because it got stuck at the bottom of the ocean or some
Yeah.
dock port or something, and they had tried to do a rescue and they couldn't do it, but they showed me the exact audio from it. I even heard the conversations, and it was pretty sad stuff because it was pretty hopeless. But nonetheless, I even asked for curiosity. Did we know about the Titan sub? And I kind of already knew
Right.
the answer, because I'd heard rumors all around. But yeah, I got showed some audio of that as well. the exact implosion,
Wow,
which it doesn't really make a sound. It's like a pop.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
See, all these things we had
But when
no
that
idea about that
Russian,
we have.
so when that Russian sub, I think I know which one you're talking about as well. They were pretty much listening in to these guys, slowly realizing that they're not going to get help.
Oh yeah, and they knew the entire time, but Russia didn't want us to help, so there's nothing we could have done anyways.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Somebody's
there's that.
asking, one of our viewers here is asking, I want to know about USOs. So for that viewer, I'm sorry, what can you say about USOs?
Well, these things are like transversal, so they can go both in the water and above water. So like when we're getting like statistics, like we see 75% of them come out of water sometimes, and that's over ocean-based areas.
Hmm.
That's true,
Yeah,
and sometimes that's because, I mean, you can attribute it to the structures that we know are moving underwater. We've detected them, we've known they're there for a very long time, and they're massive, like miles
yeah,
long, and we'll notice that they're dispersing. Unmanned aerial vehicles, which is how we call them, so UAVs.
yeah,
And they're, practically drones. I mean, they're typically spherical in nature, and that's how Lockheed Martin came up with their drone idea. I know
yeah,
I discussed that the other day. The one that you can even see it live. It's from an aero conference. You can just look up Sphere Aero Conference, and it'll be there. And that's a
yeah.
Lockheed Martin drone.
And what
Even
we talked about a few weeks ago on Shy was the one that was that 5 mile long extraterrestrial ship under the water that was 5 miles long. So answering Drum's question, Drum, there's even a ship 5 miles long, a huge ship that's traveling under the water on the
oh yeah.
Pacific side, you know. And Shai talked about this with us just not recently, actually. So, yeah, I mean, there's all that the USO stuff is very prevalent, probably through most of our oceans and seas. Correct?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's
Yeah.
everywhere at this point, and like I even learned about some of our defense technology for nukes, and I was worried about. You might not know what this is, but it's the Poseidon torpedo. Um, and that's kind of
Hmm.
why I mentioned the microphones underwater. So the Poseidon torpedo is a Russian nuclear torpedo, and their goal was to hit coastal cities. And it was announced in 2016, but lo and behold, they only have a couple in functionality because Russia lies. They have about four of them. So any number you get other than that is a lie from Russia. They love to,
Yeah.
kind of scare everybody. But
Oh, yeah. They're good at doing that.
yeah, we had some contractors immediately working it up, and by the time it was announced, we'd already had a counter initiative for that
Yeah.
exact protocol. But what we're worried about, which is no way to change, is the nuclear byproduct of that nuke blowing up in the ocean. Like, so we can
Mm.
100% deactivate any nuke. Like, if you're in the U.S., you're not getting nuked. I mean, plain and simple. Even if UAPs don't intervene, which I can't say for sure, but I think they would. Even if they don't, anybody in the U.S. is just like and I hate to say like practically immortal to that kind of issue. The only
Hmm.
thing you'd be worried about is like that nuclear fallout afterwards, and the winds carrying it into our water supply, and the
Yeah.
economic drop that you would have afterwards. But as far as the nuke's concerned, that's already been thought of. That's not going to happen. You're going to be fine. Um,
Well, that's
so.
good. It's good
Mhm.
that that's not going to happen. They'd have a lot of spaceships activating the weapons if they were trying to use them anyway. Are they aware of that? That's interesting. That came into my head. Is that are those people in these areas aware of that? The fact, obviously, historically, in the decades, they have shut down, as we've talked about, and even with these diamond-shaped craft that we recently talked about, they went over all these installations, and they automatically could shut down everything. Are they aware that if they were to use any nuclear weapons, or any country, not just the United States, that these fleets of galactic levels would come and just automatically shut down these nuclear arsenals that we have all over the world, no matter whose country it is?
Well, I think they're not. They don't want to take the coin flip, and I think it turns into an opinion thing. Are they going to let us be primal like they think we are, or are they going to save a population? And I think that's,
Right.
and just looking at something observable, and I think that's what it goes down to. So like when they're launching a nuke, I don't think that the U.S. government wants to take the chance that there is no intervention. So they don't want to rely on a coin toss. So they
Right.
rely on things that are faster than any craft that's conceivable, to even intercept, or even our missile systems that are top secret. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, or remotely deactivate it. I mean, it's all it is RF. I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I think that's the concern of people on the planet over the decades, during the Cold War, which I grew up through, which is scary. And, you never knew if there was going to be the end of the world, because we grew up in a time where we were told about, when I was a kid, it was like, okay, this is what you do in case of a nuclear explosion or a nuclear attack. They had these little symbols, the yellow and black round things that said, like it was, you go into the basement, you go here for safety if there's a nuclear war or something. And we grew up with all that. I mean, we grew up with the threat of living in a world where we weren't sure if we were going to be around the next day. It was a scary time to grow up as a kid. But at the same token, where I am now, looking back at that history, we know that, we're still here because of the intervention, and documentation through the 60s. And since we've had nuclear weapons, that many of these Air Force bases or nuclear silos happened, there were documentaries made about them that have been on the History Channel and other channels that document interviews with people that say, oh yeah, I worked in that silo, and there were these UFOs or something coming over the silo, and they shut down our nuclear capabilities. They shut down everything. And that's historically documented. That's not something that people look for the information. There's documentation on video from some TV programs on History Channel, maybe Discovery, over the years, and you can find them on YouTube probably, where people say, hey, I was alive then. I mean, I'm still alive, but I worked at that facility, and we saw people that were working in the silos outside, security. They saw these things, and they shut down all our power. So you already know that's something that's not even top secret. That's something that we know that they've done over the decades, probably before you were born even. So there is documented stuff on video. People can learn about that. And I think, would they, on the towing cost, come and intervene if we were to, or any country was to try to actually use the nuclear weapons? And again, I can only give you my opinion on this. I think, not only my opinion, from my higher ups, they would not allow us to destroy our worlds. I mean, our planet. So I think they would, not sit there and watch it happen. I don't think anybody wants to die on Earth and, see the end of the world. So I don't think that, I think if that were allowed to happen, it would have been done a long time ago, where we would have ended up, blowing up ourselves in the 60s or the 50s even. But we are here, right? So that's good. And we
We
survived
are
that.
here.
We are here. So I don't think, I mean, hopefully, you know, that will never happen, you know, and I don't think we're going to blow the planet up. But I do think if we were to be stupid enough, no matter whose country it is that has nuclear weapons, to say, I'm angry. I'm going to be like a child. I didn't get what I wanted. So I'm going to shoot some nuclear missiles to England or to China or to Alaska or to Iceland or whatever. I think those nuclear weapons would be turned off before they can even come out of the silo.
Yeah. It'd be
Hey,
Yeah, I
interesting.
think so.
Shy, in
Yeah.
the chat, Anchor Ann was wanting to know, how do we differentiate between the man-made UAPs and
Hmm.
the actual ones?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a very good question.
yeah,
So I'm gonna give you the guide that we had for the DNC, right? And they don't tell you that it's man-made or anything. They just say do not concern. So you don't want to concern yourself with it. And now obviously I know that's because they were man-made and they're ours, and private contractors. But private contractors are testing things out all the time, and they do not need authorization. They can do it whenever, wherever, however. Sometimes, if it's a big enough event, they will contact us to like organize air traffic control towers. So there's like a 23-mile radius that they can't come within, you know. And if they do, we'll get some F-35s or a MiG fighter jet out there to drop some flares on them or whatnot to get them out of the area. But in terms of discerning them, it's very difficult. Now, what I will tell you is most of these private contractors only use these things in testing capability. So sometimes you might catch, there's been leaked photos of a TR-3B. 100%. There has been leaked photos. But there's also another craft. Okay, and this craft is called, I'm actually not going to I'll share that later when it's more publicly known. But it looks like a boomerang. It's it's silver, and it has two tubes at the bottom. And these tubes at the bottom, they're cylindrical, and they're used for altitude adjustment. And that's where they store these certain electromagnetic and mercury technology. So when you see, yeah, TR-3B is leaked in Google. But if you see any, like, you know, extra, like, orifices on it, like, almost like bolting or inconsistency or, let's say, lighting, like a lot of lights, you know, that looks mechanical in nature, that's going to be us.
Yeah.
The only two that I would say that I know of that don't look mechanical in nature are going to be the Tic Tac, and how you'll be able to identify that is they have two antennas on the bottom of them. So two antennas on the bottom of them are used for altitude adjustment as well. And so and usually when you see things like that aren't seamless, that's going to be your man-made stuff. But we've used them even for PSYOP capabilities. You're going to see, you can even probably look it up. Shanghai Space Force actually was running a PSYOP campaign in the Shanghai district, and they had put orange lights all up in the sky, and they were moving around all crazy. I'm sure if you look it up on YouTube, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And that's because we love to do PSYOP campaigns to, you know, freak people out. So that's what we were doing out there. Actually,
Now, how does somebody, this is CmdrAleon, just to give people a reference, we'll take a non-commercial break for just a second. This is Encounters, our late night UFO talk show, and we have our co-host Down Rabbit Hole. Our regular, another part of our hosting is Shai. She's with the Department of Defense. She's our whistleblower. She's now a dear friend of the show, and she's always welcome here to disclose secrets and to let people on here around the planet know there are things that you're being told here that are true, that are at that level of cosmic top secret that you're not going to see on any news channel or any talk show on cable. You're going to see it right here, believe it or not, right here on this show, Encounters. I also want to let people know, please support what we're doing here if you can. And you've been, graced by God with a lot of TikTok coins or whatever. Show your love during the show by, gifting us. It could be, I'd like to see some galaxies. Those things are the best gifts. And any gifts. It could be roses, pizza pies, fish, or whatever it is. I don't know all the different TikTok gifts there is. But please do some gifting. And please, my moderators, let people know we welcome gifts here. I know some TikToks don't want to have anything like that. We do, because it takes a lot to do what we're doing here. So we appreciate it. And now we're going to go back to our show in terms of interviews and questions. And I think Krista says, I've seen a lot of lights during the New Year's Eve one night, thought they were a new firework at first. Interesting. This is what I mean. People have all these different things they see where they live. And so that helps us all because, thank you. Thank you so much for the Galaxy Jot. We appreciate that. And all gifts are appreciated. So, so many people out here, and I'm sure you know that from watching the show, there are people out here that have incredible stories. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Oh, there is, I don't know if you remember, but I've kind of done a 180, from when I first joined the live on the spiritual side of things. I don't know if you remember me, but I was like really observable based. And hopefully you can't blame me too much because I worked with pure visual, drone sensors, satellite sensors, stuff like that,
Yep.
And so,
you're a visual person, yeah.
So, when I started discussing this kind of consciousness with other people, they I got proof, I got it kind of thrust in my face that this stuff was real. I got exact video of how remote viewing worked, the tests. They even showed me a statistic. I think I brought it up last night. I don't think I told you that I had seen some videos and photos relating to it. It was pretty cool. They had photos and videos from two different facilities, a state away, and they were testing this remote viewing experiment, and I mean it worked. And then I'd even seen videos of these orbs that were amber and blue, and they were trying to do these consciousness experiments. And these consciousness experiments started out with these people in a sensory deprivation tank. Then they moved to this system called a Kozyrev mirror, and they, outside of the facility that they were working at like 25 minutes in, the orbs just started circling the facility. People, 2 people, 3 people actually kind of went insane that I know of, because they couldn't kind of grasp what they were seeing, which is a
Were
little
they like science type people?
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why they would implement those people that aren't like CIA operatives trained in this into that, but I
Yeah.
think that was just early versions of this method. And then they started learning that the CIA does programs like this all the time. Oh, skip to grace. The Y-Files is amazingly right on so many things. I even, somebody even showed me a video, and the disinformation campaign behind it. They showed me the money, they showed me the documentation, and proved that they hoaxed it. They debunked it on purpose. I'll actually send
Yeah.
you the video. It's totally real. It's pretty
Oh,
crazy.
good. I'd like to see
It's
that.
a crop
We'd
circle
like
video.
to see that. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
oh, awesome! Holy, pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's pretty cool. That crop circle video, you were mentioning crop circle video. Can you reference the crop circle video you were just mentioning just now?
Yeah, I could probably even find it on my computer if you wanted to look it up. Let me boot it up.
Is this something that was released publicly and
Yeah.
it was a fake?
And
It wasn't real.
afterwards, he bought part of a VFX studio with the money that the MI6 had funded him.
Hmm.
And they sent him photos of his wife, and they got him to say it was a hoax. I mean, it's as easy as that. That's how easy. That's how government. And then after that, there was an official crop circle campaign to make it seem like it was fake, which they did. But they don't tell you that there's molten iron that is fused with our atmosphere and starts dripping down because of the way it
Hmm.
oxidates, and that we have radioactivity left at the site.
Yeah,
Here, I'll.
well, speaking of crop circles, I don't know if I mentioned to you, I'm really good friends with a gentleman named Colin Andrews. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. You referenced him before, yeah.
Yeah, he is a good friend of mine. He lives in Connecticut, and he's been to 2 of my events over the years. One we did in New York when we were at a stone chamber with our group. We had like 20 people with us, and we were seeing at this place called Magnetic Mine Road in Brewster, New York, where it's a main area where there's a lot of sightings. And he was with us that time, and then he came to one of our CE5s in Connecticut. He lives in Connecticut. He came up and he joined us for a night as we were, vectoring in UAPs. So yeah, he's also the foremost researcher. He would go to England every year to Salisbury in that area, and he's documented video footage inside the crop circle. If it's real, there's a certain energy frequency with radio equipment that you can pick up. If it's not real, you pick up absolutely nothing in the field.
That's true. That's true, yeah. But
Yeah.
freshly after, there is radioactivity.
Oh yeah,
Um,
there probably is. Yeah.
Here, I found the video, actually. You can probably look it up. Here, let me find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I've seen it. It shows it being formed.
yeah, that's it. That's real, yeah. And then they get him to come out and say it's a hoax, and that's just not true.
Yeah. So, and you got to imagine how many people I'm sure actually were gullible enough to believe, oh, it's not real. Oh, it's just a hoax. Oh, I thought it was real. All right,
And
I'll go back to
then
watching.
yeah, under heavy analysis, nobody could disprove it. No signs of CG, no VFX. Also, VFX at that time and CG were very not like you couldn't do things like that, especially with the way the shadows are moving in the orbs and under the
Yeah.
field. And yeah, you
One
would
of
see
our
some
hey,
type of
viewers,
pixelation.
one of our
Shy, I've got a
viewers
weird
was,
question.
Hmm?
Oh, go. Sorry, Commander. Go ahead.
yeah, but we'll get to your question in a minute. One of our viewers, and my cat has a question too. Can you explain remote viewing, please?
Okay, remote viewing is the idea that you can see things from a distance way away from you, right? So, say you're put in this environment, and you have to be prone to it as well. It's trainable, but you need to be at this level of consciousness and where you're calm, meditative, and things like that. So, there's this idea called ESP, and so it's called extrasensory perception. Okay, so the idea is basically that remote viewing can be done through trained individuals where they can use their minds to perceive certain details about a location, a person, event that is completely physically separated from them.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a usually very structured protocol to process and access this information done by CIA agents in particular. So there were programs done in the 80s and the 60s and the 70s. They were subsequently shut down, quote unquote, but they were just renamed different things because, the documentation got unclassified.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they had done a lot of research into it and had found certain statistics. So, well, actually, this was found by contractors, but they kind of proved it, it was effective. The CIA doesn't like to share stuff with contractors. Everybody else usually will, but the CIA won't. Yeah, so basically they found the statistic that about 70% you could perceive 70% of words that were in a conversation, and you could perceive upwards of 85 to 90% of the facility or the people that were there. So you could see full military structures, and that rest of that percent was the percent of them getting some small detail off, but it was majority times accurate. So again, this goes into this idea that there's this big thing with consciousness. That's what I'm seeing recently.
Wow.
Like, huge. It is it's like almost an extra sense. But a lot of people kind of write it off and, make people look, a little crazy when they're not. In this consciousness, people are more in tune with this as well. Like, you can experience different realms of reality and different perceptions. And just some crazy stuff. You can communicate. There's this visualization that they do. And you basically, like, imagine yourself floating out of your body upwards. You close your eyes, float out of your body. Yeah, and that's you, like, I don't know how this works, but you'll see your neural networks light up like a Christmas tree in terms of the euphoria and love aspect, which is really crazy.
That's similar, Shai, to the workshops I do, where I have people keep a journal, where I get them into a state of meditation, which is a key factor in what we do specifically. And so when I take them in the circle of this group, their physical bodies will stay in the seat or wherever if they're sitting on the floor with a blanket or something, the bodies will be completely at peace, and then they go out of their body into what they call a Merkaba state, and they can travel to what I call the large ship, as large as the Earth. I call it the golden ship. That's what it actually is, and it's way beyond our understanding of this dimension or so much the solar system or universe. They go there, and then they come back and keep a journal of it. So would you say what I'm just describing now is similar to what you've just described? Because it feels like it is, in some respect, very similar to what's going on with that program.
100%. There's consciousness, like, at a different, like, you can do things with that 100%. That's what I've gotten the most. Like, I can't necessarily speak on astral projection, but I know it heavily aligns with your consciousness. So I would have to assume that these things are possible, especially when people there's so many different wavelengths of light and different means of perception that us as humans are just not in tune to. There are sounds and frequencies that we can't hear, but when you're astral projecting or something like that, you can hear. And, when 6-year-olds, right, are talking about how they've been in war, and they're talking about the people in their squadron, or
that stuff is crazy to me.
That is real, and that's because
that's amazing.
when we're not of this existence anymore, you are put into this. The best theory that I was told by this quantum physicist that I talked to, he works on the equipment. I've mentioned him multiple times. Is that we go into this consciousness soup, right? And this consciousness soup will spit you back out somewhere. He doesn't know if you're going to be a human, another planet. He doesn't know how that works. But he can say that there's something more, and that there is a reason that you're remembering somebody else's quote-unquote life, even though it might be yours.
Interesting.
Yeah, listen, Shai, I'm reincarnated myself, and I definitely believe in it. But I didn't start realizing my memories until my teens. And when I see like the little kids, like you said, the 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, that is just amazing to me.
6-year-olds don't lie about stuff like that, And
yeah.
So,
4-year-olds don't learn about that stuff either.
and it's
You
hard to
know.
disprove those people, and that's why you don't see like active emphasis on those people. Those are real
I,
people that had studies done into them by the CIA.
I want to tell you a story I saw. There was this kid that was born, and he had this scarring across his head and
Mm.
his face. And he said that he was reincarnated, that his father unalived him with an axe, and he took his father to the property, and they contacted the police and everything, and sure as heck, they found a body with a skull injury that lined up with the kid's injury, like what he has on his head.
Interesting, James.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so like his scar, it was like but his was like 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 vitiligo, like how it has that like whiting of the skin.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where the whiting of the skin was on his head and the top of his face coincided with the axe mark on the skull that they found.
Oh wow.
Hmm. Yeah. Past life experiences are really a key part of people asking questions about reincarnation here. For me, when I once went to a thing with Bashar, who was my friend, his name was Andrew. He was contracted by Bashar, who was with the SSI. He was the only other person in the world besides Valanka who was communicating with Bashar. And Bashar was telling me, "Oh, you had a past life in Egypt, and that past life was you were very well respected, and you were a channel back then of some space person." And you were in Egypt, and I'm saying, "Wow, I never even thought of any of those things when you speak about past lives." I was the last one to know anything about a past life, although I was hypnotized and I was told I was in Atlantis by a hypnotist many years ago. I went under hypnotic regression, and I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the show. And this is all she did is do hypnotic regression with people with ET experiences or whatever. And she said, "Oh, when I heard back the recording under hypnotic regression, I told her everything about Atlantis. I knew that there was tubular structures in Atlantis. There were lots of people. I just remember seeing all these people, like it's almost like being in an advanced train station and seeing all these people walking. And I'm like, this is really weird. They're all wearing these different kind of outfits I've never seen before, and they're all in this underground transport system. And so she took me on a hypnotic regression, and she didn't suggest anything. I just remembered stuff through that. So that would be probably a reincarnation experience of my own, that maybe I was there at one point on Atlantis. I can't prove it, but the hypnotic regression, I'll never forget it. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, did we lose connection with Commander? Oh no, he
No,
just
no,
stopped
I'm still
talking.
here.
Yeah, he's here.
He was like a robot there for a second.
Oh yeah.
Hey Shy,
Oh, I'm
I've got a
really good.
weird question for you,
Yeah.
Shy. So
Mm-hmm.
last night we were talking with friends with fairies, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a huge I've had more encounters with fairies and cryptids and creatures than UFOs. I can say that. It does the military. Do you guys like have any protocols at all? Like, do they talk about like an infiltration? Like, what if like a being just materialized in the office? Do you guys have scenarios or
Good
anything like
question.
that you talk about?
This might make you lose a little bit of confidence, but no. No, absolutely not. I mean, but usually, this kind of things happened before where we have like huge lights above an aircraft base or an Air Force base, I mean, and they have no way to address it. You can try to launch a MiG fighter jet or F-35 Lightning Bolt or something, but you're not really going to be able to do anything about the football-sized, individual orbs around your intelligence apparatus or base.
Right.
So no protocol. No, it's
Yeah.
again, they've been actually really good recently when engaging these things. And I'm really glad to hear that because again, they had to sit down with some major people and terms of private contractors, and they asked him how to engage. And again, these people right now, like the person that's I've been in contact with that's working for engineering really wants to work with contact scenarios. That's his dream career.
Interesting.
That's what he's working for. Yeah, that's what he's working towards. So he wants to work on contact, and they have already started working on scenarios. The specifics, I'm not necessarily sure, but it kind of relates to the concept that we're talking about earlier of this deep state of consciousness. Coming at this sense of inner peace, and you can project yourself out on it. And it's still really hard for me to say this because, like, a month ago, I mean, I guess I didn't really believe it, but project your consciousness out and almost utilize this other sense that you have. Your consciousness is another form of perception in itself, and I don't think people really realize that. Maybe on purpose, maybe not.
No, I have another question. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. This is our dear friend Shai, and we care a lot about her. She's a part of our whole program. And I have a question regarding the mer people, or what they call mermaids, and have the people that are involved in all this stuff about contacts, the people in the DoD or whatever level it is, are they familiar with the concept of a mermaid, and what knowledge do you have on that? Not that I'm not assuming anything here. Do you have anything? If you don't know anything about that, I don't know much, although I've seen documentaries talking about it. Are there such thing as mermaids in our oceans and seas, or have we detected anything like that?
Not to my knowledge. That's not me saying they're not there. I just wouldn't know.
Right. And I really don't know either. I just, I see documentaries, but I've never seen anything that I can look at tangibly to know whether somebody's, wearing a fake, part of a suit, on a body, and whether it's real or not, I just don't know either. But that's okay. I just throwing that out there.
In terms of like cryptids and stuff, and again, I'm not saying they're not there. I'm just saying that like what we look at as like a threat, or something that we need to prepare for. So like, say for instance, Bigfoot, so that doesn't pose a big, let's just say, he's wandering outside the woods, outside of a Air Force operations base. Well, they probably wouldn't deem that too much of a concern, as these things that have actively disabled our technology are flying at insane speeds, dropping in from outer space, coming from different systems, using things that are practically wormholes. I mean, I'll just say it. I mean, they're practically wormholes. They're not. It's really like kind of entanglement and torsion principles that are being used, but for the sake of clarification, I'll just say wormholes. And so, that's risk management, worrying about what's going to be an issue and what's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Bigfoot isn't going to walk into the base, so they're not worried.
Yeah.
They're not worried. Yeah. Well, if 100 Bigfoots came to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base unarmed,
the hundreds say that.
I wonder, and again, folks, I'm just being hypothetical here, but if that occurred, what do you think the response would be by the Wright-Patterson? Again, this is a non-reality scenario, but I'm bringing up the question, what is the protocol for something like that, if there is any?
Roll out.
Some 50 millimeter cannon's probably going to come out and take care of that issue real quick.
Bye Bigfoot.
Yeah, bye Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, if you know like a A-10 Warthog, for example, those things are innovation feats. They are some bullet sponges, and if you've seen the actual, I'll say gunner seat, if that's what you want to call it, it's just like a bathtub almost. It's a big metal cylindrical thing, and that's it. They're built around the turret. That thing's scary. That can shred through apartments, buildings,
oh God,
anything.
That's
I
not
don't know
good.
if you've ever heard one, but
no.
You hear that. I mean, you've
Sorry,
probably.
I'm gonna say as a representative of Generation X/Z, All of us nerd men love the A-10 Warhog. It's like our favorite plane.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
it is a plane.
crazy stuff. There seems to be. I just put a video on that comes from what state was it? It was Maryland, actually. This was recorded September the 21st, daytime. And this person got 10 seconds of the video, got out of his vehicle, but the 10 seconds is enough to show you a UAP that was so bright. He said the story behind it was that it was saucer shaped. The thing was moving in a way that was uncharacteristic of any kind of Earth-based technology, but its radiant of light from this craft was just incredible. People need to watch this. I don't think I posted it here yet. It's on my YouTube channel, Astro Command Spaceship News. I'll be putting it on TikTok probably tomorrow over the weekend. But it's another great video of a non-terrestrial spaceship. You can call it UAP, UFO, whatever the terminology is. I just call it, based on what the witness said, it was a flying saucer type object, a disc that had this brilliant light around it. It wasn't like a blinking light. It was this radiance of light. This thing was just glowing. That was pretty crazy. People are going to this will blow you away, I'm sure, this particular 10-second video. I
Like
think you'll
going
enjoy it.
clouds.
I'll say again, James?
Was that the video of the light like going through the clouds?
No, this thing was going through the clouds. This thing
Oh.
was below cloud level, and it was recorded for about 10 seconds of recording that caught this thing. And the camera was pretty still from the person recording it. And it shows it going in the sky behind the broken tree line. You can see this really disc-shaped object that's just radiating a glow. You're in Maryland? One of the viewers here says I'm in Maryland. I'll post a video on here too on TikTok. Probably, I might post it I'll post it tomorrow. So everyone can see it. But you can see it tonight, later on, or even tomorrow. Go on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube. You can also see the shows that we're doing here on Encounters recorded on there. You also see that I do post UAP videos on that channel and here on TikTok. So I just wanted to share it with Shy and everybody. This video, I was very impressed with it. I've examined a lot of video footage over the years, and this is very, very good. This is like as good as it gets for daytime. Very interesting.
Did anybody see the video of that a quote unquote cloaked creature falling out of the tree in Peru?
No, can you explain that? I gotta get some more water.
So I
James, I'll have
saw
you explain
so
it.
I saw this video, and it's just a brief video of what looks like, and I hate to say it like this, but when Predator cloaks itself, it looked like Predator falling out of a tree, and I can't. I've got some pretty good technology to scrub and see if it's CGI, and I've got a good eye, and I cannot discern whether it's real or not. And I just wanted to know if anybody else saw it in the chat, or you, Shy, if anybody's heard of this video of this creature just falling out. And you could see the creature like hitting all the branches and everything on the way down.
Oh wow, I have not seen it, but if you find it and send it to me, that'd be cool.
D-Rock, yeah, I'll share it. D-Rock's Gem said they saw the video.
Oh wow.
It looks like maybe like a little Bigfoot. And then even in the background of the video, it looks like there's another creature like just sitting in the tree. Like almost like if these things were playing around and one fell out of the tree and the other one was laughing at him.
It's kind of cute the way you talk about it, like the two like little things messing with each other.
Yeah, I like to look at these creatures as playful.
Yeah. Yeah, and
What did you think about those fairies though? To me it still blows my mind.
The
I
third?
forgot her name, but I didn't get a chance to look at all her videos, but super, just listening to, the way she's talking about stuff, which, us as a collective and this, kind of, I don't know what Commander likes to call us, let's say community, um, are very open-minded and able to, like, intertwine themselves with these ideas and this, you know, um, this idea that there's a little bit more to our reality than a lot of people like to think. And I think that's a great way to think about it. I am probably
You
going to
know,
head out. I'm going to probably
okay.
head out because I'm getting tired. But I have got some stuff, I've been working on. I'm probably going to take a while to come back on because I'm going to be pretty packed with work and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to get used
you
to what
might
you're
even
I've
have
doing.
got
to
a,
You
be
got a
a
lot.
lot of new
moving.
responsibilities. So,
Yeah, you got a lot on your sponsor. Yeah, when you get settled in and get more confident about all the stuff you're going to be able to now disclose, yeah, you just take your time, relax, take a deep breath, meditate a little bit, and get yourself settled in because that's really important to do.
Wow, what
Trish
was
Howard, thank
that?
you,
wow,
thank
awesome.
you.
Well, thank y'all,
That's
everybody.
amazing.
Remember, and
Shai,
then
thank you. Congratulations again. I'm so proud
Yeah,
of you.
everybody,
thank you. It
give
means the
her a
world.
clap.
Bye, y'all. Bye. Have a great stream.
You two have a good weekend. That's Shy. Just to let people know, she's our very direct DoD whistleblower, and she now has higher security clearance, which means more things. And as she gets settled in, we tell her always in this case, get settled in, take her time. She might not be on for a few weeks, but that's not because she doesn't want to be here. She's really got to know what she's dealing with. She gets more up in security clearance. So once she gets settled in, then she'll be able to give us more top secret information on the program here. So everything we like to make sure that no one uh, is in a situation of feeling like they have to be pressured or anything. And that's one of the beautiful things that I do as host of the show is no matter who you are, I want you to feel comfortable coming on here live and sharing your direct experiences, visitations, telling us your stories, coming out of the closet. I think it's really important. Anchor, and thank you for the lights. I think it's really important to honor and respect every guest as host. And my James also knows this. We respect everybody out here,
I I
Uh,
try to. I really do.
I mean, he tries to. He learned a
I
little
am.
lesson about respecting everybody. And, hey, look, we're human. We're all human. I mean, we all have those things happen, but we also learn from it pretty quick. I know, James, you did. I know I do. I just reflected on it about, I won't get into it, but I did reflect about it and saying to myself, okay, I want to improve myself even more so as a compassionate human being.
Yes.
And I think we just all learn from it. Hey, it happens.
I think
Now we got past it.
that's the biggest point to push is that as in the human experience, we're going to mess up. We're going to have emotions. We're
We
going
do.
to think things and say things that we regret. But taking the step to acknowledge it,
Right.
apologize, humble yourself a little bit, there's nothing
Humbly.
wrong with that. There's
Yep.
nothing wrong with that. And, me, I am a light being stuck in a human body, and my mind and ego loves the human experience. I'm not going to lie. And for me,
No, you
it's
do love
so
it.
hard to release sometimes because, I like I'm learning. I'm a work in progress. And I think there's a lot of people that are watching and that are
Yeah.
here that we're all working on ourselves. We're all trying. It's so hard in this world to try to really walk the walk of love and light and dealing with humans and traffic and bills and life and everything. So we need to take a step back and just realize, hey, sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes we're going to say things that are inappropriate or maybe politically incorrect or whatever, but we can bounce back. We could improve. We could lift each other up. And, sometimes we got to stick our
Well, you know
tongues
what?
back.
When we lift somebody up, you got to make sure they're not heavy. If they're light, then you can lift them up. If they're heavy, you better be strong enough to lift them up. I mean, oh, wait a minute. You're talking about lifting up our spiritual level. I'm not physical. I'm just kidding. But
And it's hard to
the
lift
thing,
somebody up when they're full of crap.
I don't want to be there. But no, it's what we're talking about is essentially we are all having human experience. I can say, even all the years I've been here, on the human level of myself, I'll be on the highway and somebody cuts me off. Or tonight, coming home from a diner, old time diner up here in Connecticut, we have some of those. They look like the old. It isn't actually one of the original diners that's old. Coming home, these two motorcycles are in the left lane and going like a bat out of hell, cutting people off on a 2-lane road. That there's 2 lanes on one end, and there's like a barrier, and on the other side of the road, there's 2 more lanes going up on this road. It's not a highway or anything. But when they did that, I'm like, my mind's saying, what the, I'm like, I'm not angry, but I'm like looking at this and saying, oh, you're ready to kill somebody. You don't care. It goes through my consciousness. So for me, when those things happen as part of my human emotion, it happens for a split second. I think, how much could these humans be so uncaring about other people riding these motorcycles and not like this, like they didn't care, and they were cutting people off. So we all have our experiences, like James is saying, but we are here for another purpose. And one of the things I always have separated at this point is that, okay, here's the human experience, but I'm here to also be a teacher, a talk show host, so I can actually learn from the human experience. But the more I've learned, the more I've figured out, okay, yeah, we have the bills, we have this, we have that, but that doesn't stop us from really the main mission. And the clarity of our mission is to kind of educate and liberate the planet from this artificial structure of life that has been put upon people in the human form, that you have to do this, you have to pay taxes, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to go buy food now. You think about all these things, but you have to take time for yourself to be meditating, connecting with yourself, so you can connect with your space brothers and sisters. That if you take the time to do that, it doesn't matter what bills you have. It doesn't matter. Ashtar said to me a long time ago, and when I keep reading the message he wrote when Athena was living with us for about a week here, he left a message for me. He wrote it down. He said, you know, basically, no matter what's going on the earth level, he said, you have to enjoy life. He says, you have to, Commander, enjoy life. You have the right to enjoy life. And I said to myself, I have the right to enjoy life. I
Yeah.
have the right to enjoy life. And just a simple statement like that, James, and everybody, was that don't get caught up in the earth-based stuff that will stress you out. Understand you empower yourself to take control of the earth-based stuff, the 3D stuff, and tell the 3D stuff, okay, you're going to be there still, but I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to go somewhere, maybe for a weekend or somewhere for a day, and I'm going to forget about everything else because I don't have to be focused on that. I can enjoy life and I could do the things I want to do and, have doing the mission work. And it doesn't matter if those things are still there because it doesn't create the reality of who you are. Everybody
Right.
out here has something going on. We all do, right? Some people have been blessed not to have too much of that happening. Other people, they're having that earth-based experience like we all are. So we can, Ashtar said it to me so quickly in this letter, and I still have it posted in our refrigerator or something on the refrigerator. I read the letter, and when Ashtar Athena left the time she was here, Ashtar left a note to let me know that you have to take time for yourself. You can't get caught up in earth-based life. Take time for yourself. And I think that's so important that each individual person here having a human experience, needs to take time for yourself. We don't. We really don't take enough time for ourselves.
Definitely. It's
So
called the work. It's called the work-life balance.
yeah, the balance.
And we have to have the balance. I work in an industry like today. Today I was on the road 6 hours for just to get to different destinations for work. And like you said earlier, we're in traffic, we're all of this stuff. We have to find
Right.
that patience within. And the message that I get, and Commander will tell you guys this, and I don't show it a lot. I do it more on the daytime shows, but I get a lot of messages from the universe. And the message I get is that humans, society, there is a society worth fighting for, but our current society is not worth fighting for. There is the way that they operate on other planets and other worlds. Most people don't understand that type of society where it's free of, they don't have brands, they don't have Nike and Starbucks, they don't have money, they don't have the same type of government structure that we have. And
Right.
we have to get out of that mindset that where we're living and where our society is now as a level 0 society is good, because it's not good. Where we are at and what we've essentially allowed, like what Shai says, what the government is able to
Yeah.
do and the parties in power,
Yeah.
that all of this experience keeps us from lifting ourselves to the highest level. Like, I think Kit Kat said it in the chat. As soon as I reach a different plane of growth, somebody cuts me off.
Yeah.
And we have got to work together. Like today, everybody knows Nebula. Nebula was in her live and she was just having a bad day. As soon as I
Yeah.
went into the live, I could feel her negative energy. And immediately I just tried to lift her up, give her positive affirmations, make her laugh, tell a little joke,
Yeah.
something I could do
Yeah.
to lift her up. And we've got to
How'd that
do
work
that
out?
in our personal lives. We've got
Yeah.
to lift each other up, because we can't just do it with ourselves. We have to be able to influence others around us. That's the only way we're going to get
Yeah.
contact.
And when we talk about, as James is saying, when we talk about what's happening and all the things that we've shared and about the contact that's coming, which is coming, that we are going to have direct contact with our space and star family sooner than we think. We think about, oh, I got to do all this stuff. I want to really focus on this about the star people, but I have to go now and go in an office for 5 hours or whatever it is. When I go to work, I have 2 crystals at my desk. I have a salt lamp and a crystal. And I put a vibe around my cubicle. The when it's not busy, I also stay very focused when I deal with customers on the phone. I get some pretty crazy people on the phone with energy. If they go at me with energy verbally on the phone, that is, I don't feel at the highest vibration, I have to deal with them, but I will push that energy back to them. So there's a way what I do is as soon as I get that kind of person, I push that energy, that lower vibrational energy back from them. I do help them, but then I say, okay, we have to cut their energy back, and that's what I do because I deal with people all day long. And so, in my vibration of my cubicle, it's like my little spaceship. Even though I'm talking to people all day long, I have an
I'm
energy field over me.
picturing, I'm picturing Commander's cubicle, and he's got his crystals, he's got a little picture of a UFO, and he's got an alien bobblehead.
Nope, but I could bring a
ET
picture of
bobblehead.
any. I do have a picture. I don't have any UFO pictures at my desk, but I could put a picture and pin it up on my cubicle of a space being. That'd be pretty cool. No one tells me I can't, so I keep the vibrations high. It's really important to do so, and I just think we all have to do that. If you work, bring some of that ET stuff with you. Like if you're sitting at a desk, bring some crystals with you for your desk. Set up an energy field so you can remember who you are, and just
See,
remember that you're just,
I'm
doing
lucky.
something. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Commander.
No, I was saying bring crystals to your desk. If some of you people work in an office setting or a teacher, bring some of your crystals and set up an energy field. That's really important to do. Salt lamps are great. Crystals are great. I have a salt lamp and crystals, Kit Kat, beautiful. And this is the things on the show we don't talk about a lot on our UFO show, but those things, because we're talking about the human experience, we all are on mission to Earth. Every one of you are, whether you realize it or not. We have a mission here to complete, and that is to make sure that when we go into the new Earth and when we have contact with our space brothers and sisters, that we are the best possible people we can be. We want to be the best representation of what Earthians are. Now, and get used to the word Earthian, because Earthians are what we are. Forget about being the best American, the best Russian, the best Chinese, the best Polynesian, the best Scandinavian. Try to be the best Earthian representative when contact happens. Show that our space brothers, when they come here, and sisters, that we are the best representations of the new Earth. What that new Earth is going to be like, what it's going to feel like,
Yeah.
and we
Once
can have,
we go ahead. Go ahead.
no, we can have bad days, and we can have days when we have headaches, when we're out of sorts, or whatever. But like James, like you were saying, whether it be going, like the analogy of going into her room, Nebula's room, or whatever the situation is, we are here to uplift each other. And that's what our intentions should be. Our intentions should be to uplift people, because if we end up putting someone down, then we're going against the very light energy that we're here to uplift in our own bodies in order to be prepared for the day to have contact. So it's really important that we have the human experience, but the experience is that we learn what we don't want to be and remember who we are. We learn what we don't want to be in the human
Yes.
form, but we remember who we are, where we came from before coming here, a starseed. We remember who we are. That's the key.
And one of the things I wanted to tell people that really what the ETs can pick up on and what really is holding them back is our aggression. And
Yeah,
aggression does not just have to be towards somebody else. You can have inner aggression that is, keeping you from A, making contact, and B, the ETs being comfortable. Because if you have inner turmoil, even we can all put on a smile, we could all put on the show, but inside our souls, if we have turmoil within our souls, they pick up on that. And we
yeah.
need to really lift that up.
They pick up on our energies. I mean, you're right, spot on. The space people, the star people, they can pick up on our energies collectively on Earth. Now they will come individually, which they are doing. We've had guests on that said they have visitations with the star people. That's because they're supposed to, those individuals. But on a
Yep.
mass contact scale, the reason why that hasn't happened yet is because we still have this thing going on Earth called inner conflict. Inner conflict on a spiritual level, outer conflict with wars, pockets of wars, disagreements, people just not honoring,
Politics.
politics, all that stuff. When you throw all that stuff out the window, then when they see that we have thrown all that out the window and that all we care about is the planet, or working together collectively, and once they see that our vibrational patterns as humans has changed to a point where we are working together, then everything changes. I just noticed that all night I've had this like really weird energy on my screen,
Like
like
a
my
pink
hands are
glow.
like I can't make this up, folks. I was like not going to mention anything, but do you feel any energy coming out of my hands here? Because
Well,
I swear,
I've never seen that.
and I didn't use any special tic tac lighting or
Do you
anything.
have a different do you have a different light?
No, I have no light. I have a regular lamp over there. You can't see it. I'm near a window, and everything's the same. So I was starting to say, what's going on here? So I have to acknowledge it now because it's been all night. It's really, this is as real as it gets. I'm not creating anything. This is energy coming
Yeah,
through.
and I thought it was a filter too. I wasn't going to say anything. I was like, oh, the commander's trying to get a tan in the filter or
No,
something.
no, it's not. It's not. This is just energy, you know? So I'm going to share. This is being recorded, and I'm the last one to tell you what it is. But my whole face, if you look at me here, are you seeing that I'm not normally like this? My face is
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like a,
been glowing all night.
it's been glowing all night. I'm not creating any special effects or lighting, folks. It's been glowing all night, and I've never had that happen before.
He's not
So that's
Steven
unusual.
Spielberg.
Let me take my glasses off here. My whole face is glowing. It's like really,
Now put your hand up. Now that you got the glasses off, put your hand up again. Okay, see, I was wondering maybe if the glasses were reflecting. No? Dude, we've been doing lives for months, and I've never seen your hand look blue when you do the. No, he's had that background before.
it's the same background. I'm not doing anything. No special effects. I have no special lighting. I have no Hollywood studio. This is all tonight.
Yeah, glitch in the matrix for sure.
Something's
Yeah, I
happening.
thought it was a filter. I thought Commander was, trying
Look at my
to
arms.
bold
My
glamour.
arms are my arms are all different colors. Look at this.
Hey, Commander, you got to get some sun on those arms.
No, my arms actually have a tan on it, but you're not going to see it because this is really crazy. You
Yeah,
know,
it's white. It looks like there's a bright light shining on you.
this wasn't like this last night. Tonight, it's just like really, weird. This is all being recorded, so I wanted to show this on the screen. I didn't want to say anything all night, but I
Hey,
have to because it's been like,
take the green screen off. Let's see if the green screen affects it.
okay, it might.
Let's see. Maybe it's your
Okay,
shirt.
no, it can't be that. Let me see here.
That
I'm going to take
shirt.
the green screen off of here. Let me see if I can do that. I did take it off the other time. Let's see. I'm going to try to take the green screen off of here. Let me see here.
Yeah, just scroll over all the way to the like when
Oh,
you go to the
the
effects.
enhance button. The enhance effects button. Yeah, let me see here. I'm going to change it.
Michelle, what is it you wanted me to try?
Okay. I have the green screen off. Look at this, man.
Oh shoot! Oh wow! Look at that. You
Oh
didn't
my
drop your
God.
phone or anything?
Nope. Let me do this here on it.
But
I'm not.
what I don't get is how is it like? If hold your hand still, it's like moving. It's like pulsing. Look at that. He's a rocket man, and his hands are shining blue. That is awesome. It looks like thermal imaging. Looks like you got a thermal.
Oh, look at the color just changed.
Now it's pink. Whoa! How's it going? How's it going from pink to blue? Yeah, are you feeling anything?
Yeah, it's like a tingling sensation. I can't make this up. I've never had this happen
Let's
to
see
my
your
body
arm
before.
now. Let's see your arm now outside of it.
My whole body.
Now let me see. Wait, now move your face forward. Does your face turn blue when you bring it forward? Okay, it's got to be some type of coloring.
I'm not doing anything.
It's weird though, man. I mean, in months you never looked like that.
Wow, that's
Did you
crazy.
get exposed to any radioactive material?
Nope.
Because you are glowing, my friend.
Now my face is changing in different colors, and I have no control over this.
Wow.
How are other people feeling right now watching the colors of all this on my body? Again, without the green screen, this is,
Love and light.
I have a feeling, you know what? I'm just getting
Ooh,
that
doo-doo-doo.
the energy, James, of my ET essence of my being is coming out in aura, not an aura. Something else is happening, but I'm going to do something here on the show. I'm going to see if you can feel the energy here because it's really strong. I'm going to do something here right now and do a test. I'm just going to throw it out. I'm not even thinking about it. I want to see if people feel. Close your eyes, everybody. I want to see if you feel something because this is so strong. Whatever's happening here, it's like
Whoa, you're
my
making it
whole.
pulse. You're making it pulse. Doing whatever you're doing, you're a pulsing energy. Man, y'all tell me if I'm crazy. I'm feeling it like pulsing with his hand.
I am just like
Michelle,
I
yeah, my
feel.
eyes too.
Yeah, it's like I think this. I've been amped up by the command or something, and
It almost made me,
this
I
what I
almost had like a dizzy sense for a second. Almost like the ooh, I don't know what it was.
yeah. They say I can activate everybody in this room right now just with this energy. This is really, really
Oh, it's
high
hot.
vibrational energy.
Whoa! It just went from red to blue. Everybody take a deep breath. Let's sync up our energy, guys. Clear all the bad stuff. Just peace, love, growth.
I'm going to share a story. One time at work, everything around me became like fluorescent neon, like white. Everything was like an electric white light. Everything in the office was looking. I had to try to shake my head to get my vision back to where it would be normal. But everything for a few minutes was totally luminous, and I couldn't concentrate on working. So I had to go and take a break, and I had to finally get myself back to a normal vision because I was really in a state where I couldn't do any work. It was like I said, this
And
is
it
not good.
wasn't a
I can't do
migraine.
anything. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing
Commander,
that right now.
you are the colors. It was almost psychedelic.
Yeah, it
It
is
really,
psychedelic.
it
It's
really
crazy.
was. Maybe I feel I'm feeling all kinds of different things. I'm feeling kind of giddy, feeling kind of happy, like you got some Pink Floyd playing in the background.
I'm gonna get closer with my face, and it changes. I'm just doing a test here. This is encounters the late night UFO talk show. We're just having some strange experiences on my outer body with these colors and everything. Well, I think it's time for me to call it a night, folks. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want also to encourage people to gift the show. And if you haven't gifted the show, please do so. Let me see if I can go back to where I was before. I'm trying to get back here.
Oh, Glitzy girl, you're coming in at the end of the show. But yes, we have seen UFOs. On this live, we've seen them.
I want to thank everyone for being here. Please gift and like. If you haven't gifted the show for the end of the night, please, any gifts are welcome. Please become a subscriber. We have, I think it was 32, it went down. Some people lost their subscriptions. If you were subscribed, please, when you have the funds to resubscribe. Thank you for that, for the gift of the paper crane. We thank that so much, thinking positive. I all hope you got some good energy out of this. I'm still like, this is just like incredibly interesting. Levick, thank you.
Whoa, the ugly
Thank you, Levick.
duckling.
Thank you, Kit Kat. Thank
That
you
was
very much.
amazing.
All right, and I just want to make sure you all get this energy. I'm sending it out to everybody in the room on Encounters. This is the UFO Spiritual Talk Show, late night, and I might sleep out here not to wake up my better half. I might just sleep out here tonight, I think.
Commander, if
So,
you just leave your live on while you're sleeping, you'll probably get to 100,000 likes.
do you think that'll happen?
Oh, I guarantee it.
If I
You,
keep
the
this
night
on, how many
the
viewers do
night
you
you were
think I'll have?
sleeping, man, we were in here vibing.
So if I go to sleep here live, you think maybe 2,000 people will watch that?
If you put some good music on in the background, because you don't snore, so you got to put something on in the background.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I thought about for one moment, James. I thought about that. The commander will not be sleeping on Encounters Live.
Man's
Sorry,
got to pay
folks.
a mortgage too, so he'll. Good night,
But it was,
everybody.
hey, everyone, have a good night. Seriously, it was a great show tonight. I thank everybody for their questions, being here. Please let people know about this show. If you know people that have never been on our show, to watch it as viewers, as people, get the show out there, share it with everybody. It's going to be weekend in New England. Next weekend, we plan on having our CE5 event, which we hope to have next weekend. So I want to thank everybody for being here. This has been Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Everyone be at peace. Have a great weekend. And if you have to work, don't work too hard. All right. Take care and keep your eyes to the skies.